High school sports, we've got it covered. Overtime starts now.
Hello and welcome to Overtime. I'm Scott Leber.
And I'm Drew Collins. Tonight we have NUIC action from Lanark and Pecatonica. We'll also get the latest on the Byron Tigers and those Rochelle Hubs.
And in our Spotlight segment, we'll see what Byron's secret is behind its dominant football program. Well, we just saw a few minutes ago some baseball playoff action on Fox 39. Football playoff action is just around the corner.
It's coming fast, but first, there are conference championships to be decided. One of those is the Nick 10 Championship.
Yep, coming into tonight, Belvedere North was alone in first place at 6-0. Then we had Hononegah, Boylan, and Harlem all with 5-1 records. Will one of those teams emerge as the outright champ, or will two or more of them share the championship? Well, two of those teams went head-to-head tonight in Rockton, Boylan and Hononegah, and this one was huge. It's the Gillies Heating and Air Conditioning Game of the Week. Boylan's been rotating QBs a whole lot now. Fired up student section there. Dominic Kelly, or rather Boylan's Cacciatore with a pass complete there to Joe McNamara. Junior Jaden Williams, the other QB, taking his snaps, running down to the one. Some penalties and great defense by Hana will push Boylan back. Same drive, Cacciatore in now, throws for the end zone, but Brian Little Jr. is there with the pick. Huge play there by the Hana defense. Dominic Kelly, quarterback for Hononegah. He's going to run with the football. He is so good at that, getting out of bounds too so he doesn't take the hit. Now it's going to be Kelly going to the air. Who's he looking for? It is Nolan, maybe snatching it out of the air. He's got himself a first down. Curtis Smith then, with an 18-yard touchdown run right before halftime. It was 7-0 Indians at the break. Let's go to the third quarter now. Kelly, again, buying some time. He can really extend plays. Directed traffic. He has got Camden Rodriguez, who makes a great catch. Got that foot down inbounds. Huge play. That would lead to this. Hononegah with a 30-yard field goal attempt. It was good. It was 10-0 Indians third quarter. Back on the Titans, though, Jaden Williams. He's got some time, and he's got Anthony Lorenzo for the touchdown. That made it a 10-7 ball game in the third. But Hononegah tacked on a late touchdown in this one, and the Indians went on to win it 17-7. All right, Nick 10 analyst Tim Bailey joins us now with thoughts in this game. Let's start with that play that might have been the biggest play, certainly in the first half, maybe the game. Boylan early on driving, looking to score. They get picked in the end zone. What did you were right there by that. What did you see on that play?
You know, they were in position to score. They were threatening to score, which I really liked. The quarterback play, Cacciatore's really grown up. He's maturated over the weeks. He's really done a good job. But, as it pertains to what happened in the play, he didn't see the actual safety that was back deep. He only saw the white jersey. So he didn't really see the guys around him. So he's got to do a better job of just really scanning that field. Just because you see a guy open for a second doesn't mean he's going to be open by the time that ball gets there. And that's exactly what happened tonight.
It looked like the receiver might have broken off the route a hair or two, maybe. I don't know. But all right, Drew.
Boylan moved the ball well at times, but Hononegah's defense made big plays when they needed to. We knew Hononegah's defense was good, but just walk us through how good they've been.
Yeah, they've been on fire all year. You know what I like that they do? They really send all 11 hats to the ball. You really didn't see Boylan make too many big plays tonight. Boylan was effective on offense, but as it relates to Hononegah and what their defense is really capable of doing, they had a sack late in the fourth quarter by Lane, which actually put Boylan in a really bad position. But what they do overall, they play together as an 11-man defensive unit on the field.
Yeah, they do. From that front line to the linebackers to the secondary, they're all pretty sound there. Okay, Hononegah's offense, they had to manufacture some drives there. They don't have Cole Schmall at receiver, who's out with an injury, which really impacts their passing game. We didn't see a lot of Brock Anderson carrying the ball tonight. The Indians' best weapon by far tonight was Dominic Kelly, running and scrambling. He's got a little Johnny Manziel in him, I think. Yeah. He's just got a knack kind of for extending plays.
Yeah, he does. And I think that's the bread and butter of his game. He's able to escape out of the pocket. When he escapes out of the pocket, he gives Hononegah another running back. So, I like what he does well. He's always looking downfield. He doesn't look to run a lot. He looks downfield, and what the receivers really do well, and they really did well tonight, they found those open pockets in that Boylan zone that they were in, and they were able to capitalize and pick up first downs.
From a Boylan perspective, how much better have the Titans gotten since we saw them 3 weeks ago at B North?
Despite the loss, they're a much better improved team than they were when we saw them against Belvedere North. They've made some strides over the week. Cacciatore, again, you got to give that young man some credit. He's really grown up since that week against Belvedere North. Would he like to take the turnovers back that he actually created in the first half? I'm sure he would, but overall, he really played a good game. And I think Boylan really came out and really showed the actual conference that, hey, look, we may be a little bit scanty on the actual enrollment side of things, but we got some good ball players out here, and we still want to represent the Nick 10 as one of the top teams in the actual state.
I thought they did a good job, too, of matching Hononegah's physicality tonight.
They did.
I wasn't
They
sure
did.
going into this game
They
they
did.
could do it, but they certainly did.
Yeah, they stepped up. It was a great game. I mean, to be expected. Every year these teams go head-to-head. What do you see? You see, a close-scoring game like you saw tonight, and a well-fought game by actually both teams.
All right, so Hononegah next week plays at Belvedere North tonight. The Blue Thunder, as we expected, won big against Auburn, 42-16. So Belvedere North now 7-0. Hononegah is 6-1. Sets up a huge game next week. So let's take a look at our over/under question for this week. How many total points will be scored in the Hononegah-Belvedere North game next Friday? The over/under mark set at 42.5. So what do you think there, Tim? Is it going to be a defensive game, go under or go over that?
I'm going under. I think it's going to really be a good defensive game based on what I saw tonight and based on what I've seen Belvedere North do over the weeks. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
Drew, what would you say?
I got to agree with Tim here. I think we're going to see a lot of defense, maybe some turnovers, but I think it's going to be a hard-fought defensive game.
Yeah, I'm going with the under, too, I think. I think we're going to see a lot of defense. I think if it goes over, it's because defenses are scoring, unlike pick sixes, or the special teams are scoring. I can't see the two offenses coming up with that amount of points.
And then also, too, you got, these two are going head-to-head next week, so you got you have the top two defenses going head-to-head. So that's where my answer comes into play and saying, okay, it's going to be under. I'm going to take that.
All right.
Folks, if you want more from Nick 10 football here from Tim Bailey, you can check out the Bailey Pod. You can find it on YouTube. His guest this week is Freeport head coach Anthony Dedman.
And that was a good one. That was a great one.
We'll have more Nick 10 action later. Up next, we have the Rochelle Hubs and see if they could keep things rolling.
And we'll see if the same goes for Byron, and we'll head to Lanark to see if a vastly improved EPC team could give Lee Win Panthers a battle. Well, the most improved football team in the Northwest Upstate Illini Conference this season has been Eastland Pearl City. The Wildcats, they won only 3 games last season, but they came in tonight with a record of 5-1.
And they were ranked 10th in the state in Class 2A, so have the Wildcats improved enough to give Lena Winslow a battle. They played tonight in Lanark as we see EPC come rise from the smoke. First play of the game. There is nothing sweeter than an opening kickoff return in front of the home crowd. That's the quarterback, Adam Awinder. He takes this one over 80 yards for the tutty. That is how you get the home crowd pumped up. EPC takes the early lead, 6-0. EPC has their offense on the field again. Adam takes the snap, rolls to his right, and look at this beauty of a pass to 6'5" Ziason Haverlin to go up 12-0 after two failed extra points. But we knew Lena wasn't going to go down without a fight. They give it to big 8'5" Aiden Wild. He punches this in. And another goal line stand again for Lena. And they go right back to Ocho Cinco for another touchdown. Lee Win takes this one 35-18.
But still, EPC vastly improved. All right, staying in the NUIC, Dupec coming off a loss in Lena last week. The Rivermen hosting Fulton. Cooper Hoffman feeling the pressure. He doesn't feel pressure. Scrambles, lofts it. Jackson Diedrich, but no, it's picked off. Fulton's Braden Myers has it. Steamers trailing, trying to change it. Mayers throwing deep to Jacob Bazinga, and he's off to the races. Bazinga there. Fulton's back in this one, 20-14. Rivermen, though, backing up at their own 10 after the kickoff. Hoffman to Diedrich, pushes himself free from a few defenders, and holy cow, stiff arm. Jackson Diedrich, he was a man on that play. 90 yards for the TD for the senior. Lee Win back up by 2 scores, or Dupec, I should say, but Fulton had some time on the clock, under 20 to go. Mayers looking and finding his favorite target, Hazinga again. Another touchdown. That's how the half ended. Dupec up only 26-21 at the half, but Dupec rolls to the win, 60-36. In other NUIC games, Stockton won 54-14 over Morrison. Galena won 43-6 over Dakota. And Forreston takes one 20-16 over Hazel Green, Wisconsin. All right, next week is the big Byron-Dixon game in the Big Northern Conference.
That one will be played in Dixon, and it will be electric. Tonight, the Tigers tried to play their usual brand of dominant football at Winnebago. If you love the color orange, this game was for you. First quarter handoff is to Braden Knoll. Gets some sweet blocks as he's pushed out of bounds inside Bago territory. A couple of plays later, he gets it again and gets into the end zone for the Tigers' touchdown as they lead 8-0. Next Byron drive, Andrew Talbert fakes it, keeps it, and finds some space in the Bago territory and a whole lot more as he's also pushed out of bounds. A few plays later, this time the give is to Cade McGow, and the freshman adds to their lead. Byron wins big, 64-0. As for Dixon tonight, the Dukes beat Johnson City 40-14. Stillman Valley beat Genoa Kingston in overtime 22-20. Rockford Lutheran won 21-0 over North Boone. And Oregon won 55-19 over Rock Falls.
For the second week, the Rochelle Hubs had a big Interstate 8 game on their home field, this time against Canelan. Hubs ball here, Carson Lewis going to toss to Dylan Manning. Manning uses that sprinter speed of his, and he's on his way to the end zone. A 52-yarder for number 10. Now Canelan with the football. It's time at the 29. Chase Kruckenberg going to fire it to Vinny McDonald. He's got it. And he's got himself a touchdown, a tumbling touchdown. Rochelle again at the 2. Grant Gensler taking the carry, powering in, reaching the white chalk for the TD. Hubs trying for more points in the red zone. Roman Villalobos breaking the tackle, and he scores. It was 22-7 after the first quarter. Rochelle with an impressive win again, 52-24. The Hubs improved to 6-1.
In other area games, Marengo beat Harvard 33-21. Sycamore beat LaSalle Peru 28-13. DeKalb lost 28-19 against Wallabonnaise Valley.
Our next stop, South Beloit for 8-man action between the Sobos and mighty Milledgeville. Sobos sophomore running back Chase Harrington has had a heck of a season. Here he is picking up good yardage. Sobos going to pass this time. Landon reads their QB, and on target there, nice snatch by Cameron Meister. Great job by the Sobos, but that drive would stall. Milledgeville ready to attack on their first possession. Going to the air, and Evan Schnenk has it all by himself for the TD. Milledgeville so good this year. The Missiles win 40-0. Also an 8-man football, Hiawatha won 62-20 over AFC. Polo won 68-6 over Christian Life. And Amboy beat Peoria Heights 68-0. All right, our look at why the Byron Tigers are so dominant coming up in just a bit in our Spotlight segment.
I'm looking forward to that. Next, we have more Nick 10 action. Freeport, Guilford, and East are all looking to notify their playoff chances.
Well, Freeport and Guilford are two programs that are starving to get back into the playoffs.
They were both on that playoff line going in tonight with identical 3-3 records. They played in Freeport. Guilford's game plan was exactly what this play shows. Run the ball. They did a lot of this tonight, and it was Isaiah Primus carrying the load. After they get to the goal line, they pulled the trickery and slither it in for a slippery touchdown by Primus. The Pretzels trailed big, but this play got them into the red zone. Peyton Woker on the pass to Denarius Epps before he gets dumped. But once they got into the red zone, the Pretzels couldn't buy any points tonight. Guilford won 36-0. The East E-Rabs are also battling to grab a playoff spot.
They were also 3-3 coming into tonight. They hosted the Harlem Huskies. Reanne Wiel covered that game, and she's here with the story. Reanne?
Well, guys, East coach Gary Griffin says he doesn't want his guys looking ahead to a possible playoff berth. The only thing he wanted them to focus on tonight was the Harlem Huskies. And for the Huskies, this was also a huge game. They're still fighting for a Nick 10 championship. Now, this game was played at Swanson Stadium, and like I said, both teams were in this tonight. The E-Rabs really needed this to help them get closer to the playoffs, and the Huskies were battling for that championship. E-Rab offense at the start of the game, but it's the Harlem defense putting a stop to them with the team of Briar Craig and Ahmad Hurd. Some great sportsmanship here, too, as he helps him get up. Now the Huskies taking over on downs now, and why not hand it to the Nick 10 leading rusher, as it's Jamani Muhammad with a big gain here for Harlem. Now Harlem at it again, and this time QB Nate Johnson hands it to Dwayne Broom, who finds a pathway right to the end zone. And his teammate Noah Crandall was so hyped for this one, he literally knocked Broom off of his feet. Wait till you see this. He's about to pick him up, and down he goes. 6-0 with 5 to go in the first. East was ready to respond as kick returner LeBron McClellan is on the hunt, and he takes this one 30 yards with the help of some excellent blocking here. He puts the E-Rabs in a great first down position. Look at him go. And they do take advantage of it. QB Twain Phillips will give it here to Zaire Lee, who pushes his way through to see a clear end zone right in front of him for a tutty that would tie the game. And a converted extra point gave them the lead at the end of the first quarter, but Harlem ultimately takes this one. Huskies win it 33-14. The Huskies moved to 6-1, and I've got to say both teams were giving each other a battle when the stakes were so high tonight. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Reanne. Also tonight, Jefferson won 28-13 over Belvedere. Congrats to the Jayhawks who get into the win column. I got to say they've improved a lot this year, and they've been battling pretty much everybody on their schedule.
Let's take another brief timeout. When we come back, we'll have our weekly Spotlight feature story.
I'll show you the biggest reason for Byron's recent run of dominance on the football field. Byron's football program has been on a historic roll. Over the past 10 years, the Tigers have won 2 state championships. They've been the state runner-up twice, and they've reached the semifinals 2 other times. In the last 2 years, they've been blowing out teams on a weekly basis, often leading by 30 or more points at halftime. So how are they doing it? Is there something in the water at Byron? Are they recruiting players? Some people throw that allegation out there on social media. Actually, the biggest secret for Byron's success is very simple. And I'll show it to you now in our Spotlight segment, brought to you by Benchmark Exteriors. Here come the Tigers! What's been happening on Everett-Stein Field and on other area football fields over the past decade for the Byron Tigers varsity team is a product of what happens on Saturday mornings. Everything begins with the Byron Junior Tackle football program. The Junior Tackle program includes teams in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. A Junior Tackle board, led by current board president Casey Klein, oversees everything with one main vision in mind.
It's really just to make sure the kids have a fun, safe experience with football. That's kind of the mission. Keep kids in the program for as long as possible, get them from 5th grade all the way up to that varsity level.
Rat fly, 65 boot right pass. A 1-1, ready.
Byron's teams play an 8-game regular season plus a championship weekend. They practice 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday after school. There are more than 120 kids in the program.
On the 7th grade team, we've got 40-plus kids.
Many of the other communities in our area have junior tackle programs, but they don't have the numbers that Byron has. They don't have quite the overall parental support that Byron has, from fundraising to volunteering to showing up to cheer for the kids.
We really do have an awesome group of parents.
Another aspect of Byron's junior tackle program that's a huge key is these youngsters are learning and executing the same plays and schemes that the varsity football Tigers use.
We want them running our system, so you're going to see them, run a wing tee and also, defensively pretty much a 4-4. All our plays, all our terminology is the exact same, 5th all the way up through 12th grade.
I think we have about 37 plays, so it's not too simple, but, isn't that bad.
Are you learning the same plays that the high school guys run?
Yeah, we're learning the same offense as high school are.
How cool is that, huh?
Pretty cool.
Are you guys pretty good at running those plays?
Yeah.
Do you want to play for the Byron Tiger varsity team when you get older?
Yes.
We're going strong axe here. Strong axe here. I don't want to.
Almost all the junior tackle volunteer coaches are guys who themselves played for the Byron Tigers. That continuity, that Byron Tiger pride, fuels the junior tackle program.
That's been huge for our program as well because those guys, they grew up in the Everett-Stein era and understand how Byron football works.
Boyer attends most of the junior tackle meetings. He and his varsity staff help out whenever their help is needed. They also put on clinics for the kids at the start of the season. Most of the varsity players also help at those clinics.
Jeff would probably try to deflect some of the credit for this, but it's really his commitment to the program and making sure that the coaches are aligned, the families are aligned, just to kind of keep everybody on the same page.
How vital would you say the junior tackle program is to the success you guys have been having at the varsity level for so many years?
It's huge. I mean, I think one of the first groups that came through that kind of ran our system, 5th grade all the way on up was right around that 2018-2019 group. Tyler Ellsbury's group. And you can kind of see how that, had an effect on that group and the success that we've had since has a lot to do with what's happening here at the junior tackle level.
It's really a buy-in from parents, coaches, community, businesses, and supporters that really makes this all work, and we continue to see our numbers grow.
And by the way, the Tigers also have a Little Warriors flag football program for kindergartners through 4th grade. So yeah, there's no magic formula for why Byron's program is so strong. They simply start kids young and then provide those kids with lots of support in a structured system.
Some of those kids in your video really look talented at a young age.
Yeah, they are. Byron's going to keep winning football games for a long time. We'll be back after one final timeout.
Each week at this time, we recognize the top play caught on our cameras.
It is our play of the night, brought to you by Napleton Auto Group.
And what about an opening kickoff touchdown? Return for the play of the night. EPC's quarterback Adam Allwinder returns this one over 80 yards for the touchdown. And guess what? This kid is only a junior. He's got great speed, but this kid can also throw the ball as well. Congrats to Adam on earning the play of the night.
He's a heck of a basketball player, too. Join us again next Friday night for Overtime. We'll be on right after Fox's coverage of the Oregon-Purdue football game that kicks off at 7 o'clock. So we should be on sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. There's also a chance, though, Fox could swap that out for another baseball playoff game. So we'll keep you posted.
For another look at this entire show or for scores and highlights for individual games, go to mystateline.com anytime. That does it for this episode. Thanks for joining us.
Good night and enjoy your weekend.